Right, everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of Podcatz. Today we will be talking about the new games announced by Riot Games at the beginning of the month, as well as the final little announcement they did in their big trailer. So let's get right into it and have the guests introduce themselves for this episode.
Yeah. Hello there. My name is Kim, and I'm team captain of Gotland Guardians. And yeah, that is who I am.
All right. And guest
Hello.
number 2, yeah.
Hi, I'm Martin, and I'm currently studying game design at Gotland University, or Uppsala University, as the correct name is. And, I'm a gold player, hard stuck. What can you do? It's all fine. So
Yes, boss.
that's all you need to know.
Yeah. So yeah, Riot Games, of course, are the creators of League of Legends, and with the 10th anniversary they celebrated, they also showed off a bunch of new announcements for the upcoming year. And the first of them that we've gotten to see a little bit more of is Legends of Runterra, a card game.
Yes. They released a pre-beta version. I don't even think it's beta version. They just released a teaser, basically.
Yeah,
so
it's
people
like
could be playing a little bit. So
yeah, it was really fun. I got my chance to try out it, and I even streamed it like twice. Did you guys get to try it as well?
Yes.
No.
I got to try it like one or twice.
Oh.
So it was pretty fun. The one thing I noticed about it that was like different was like there's round systems before there's like before it actually changes turns. So it's like it's very indifferent. I think it's more things to think about compared to like Hearthstone.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like I feel like it's a bit more going on. Because I mean, so you have yeah, the round system is like the main selling point, I would say, of it, where you have this where like both of you get to both players get to play their cards, but one is attacking and one is defending.
Yeah.
And another really nice thing about it is the whole like counter action aspect, where whenever you get to play a card, the opponent will always have a chance to play a card as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Like reaction cards, there's fast cards, and then there's like burst cards, I think it was called.
Yeah, so there's
it's like fast cards are like as soon as your round ends or something, it will activate, and the burst cards is like immediately going. So there's a lot of different timelines within the rounds that is interactive, and you can also answer a spell cast by the enemy player, or a certain minion get placed and you have other spell on your hand, and it's a lot more dynamic in that sense.
Yeah, I really like that too. I don't know. So Martin, you didn't get to try out the early release, but like did you watch it or?
But I have watched it and read about it, so I have a pretty good understanding how it works.
Okay.
On the different champions. To be honest, I think Riot Games is actually making it very hard for themselves to balance this game.
Yeah.
If you look at the archetypes which are in the game.
Indeed. I can agree to that point.
Yeah. For example, there's this for example the Zone archetype, the whole thing is that you discard cards to get an effect. But the problem is that if you discard cards, the effect has to be so strong to make up for that you're losing stuff.
Yeah, because you're losing like card advantage.
Exactly. So that is one of the hardest things to balance ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and at one point it doesn't become or it doesn't become a cost to discard. Let's say the discard card and special summon a monster.
Yeah.
That's not a cost anymore. That's just for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, and also when you're discarding stuff from your deck, that's also something that doesn't really have any counterplay. Like nothing the enemy can do about that, really.
And your deck that you have, that is not a cost to throw things from your deck into your graveyard, since you don't have access to them anyway.
No.
So there are certain things within card games usually that are hard to balance.
Yeah. And speaking of hard to balance, I guess from my time playing, the most like overpowered deck was easily the Fiora Shen deck, where because Fiora just straight up wins the game if she kills 4 other cards.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Because I mean, I really like that they're experimenting with alternate win conditions, which is something you usually don't see in these sort of games. But killing 4 minions is pretty damn easy, it turns out. And also when you have like, I mean, you can put in like so many buffs you have, and like other stuff that just gives barrier so that she can do an attack without taking any damage at all in return.
Right.
And the thing is that the problem is also if you're going forward to if you want new players to play this game, it's gonna be very overwhelming, and they don't have like a vanilla deck, so to speak. Every deck has these champions and stuff. So if you're new to this, you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You don't get a good grasp of the core mechanics.
Yeah, because that's something like they did have like there's a lot of mechanics, a lot of keywords going in. So I think it can be a bit overwhelming to new players, but hopefully they have a good like tutorial, good PvE section to like ease you into the game.
Yeah, that is that is their like answer to trying to have people learn it is through their tutorials, because they have a lot of tutorials of different mechanics and playstyles. So I think there is like when I watched like the tutorial tab on Legends of Runterra, there was like 16 different tutorials just on this beta version. So
yeah, that's too much. You can't expect someone to play a game and then by the way go through all these 16 tutorials.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were optional as well. So it's like but you get
it's still going to be like if you play and you don't understand what's happening, and you go, maybe I should check out what's happening, and then what the.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely a
for
point.
gamers, that's not a big issue, but for new people.
Yeah.
For new players, like Hearthstone has a really really good like. I know people who's not have played any games or Blizzard whatsoever, but they still can play Hearthstone on the phone. Like they don't even know the characters because it's such a simple system compared to Legends of Runterra. I think that would be more devastating for a new player to
it's definitely a big difference, because Hearthstone is pretty good at explaining things at first, but then they also have way less mechanics to work with, I would say. And even like the mechanics they have, they usually because a lot of the mechanics they have, they run them like one expansion at a time. So like each set of like each year they have 3 expansions, and each expansion introduces one mechanic. These mechanics are very rarely reused, so they cycle them out and take in new ones, so you don't have to have all of them in play at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you guys? So we only have a few, factions in Legends of Runeterra. What kind of factions do you want to see next?
Right. I think I want to see Void next, because that's like
Void.
I feel like that's pretty big, like within the League universe.
Yeah, definitely. I could see a Void expansion happening of some sort. Because it has a large impact on all parts of Runeterra. Honestly,
pretty much,
yes, pretty much.
It is what infected the northern parts of Freljord, like where Lysandra is from, and it's also
the whole
the biggest.
The undoing of Shurima and that.
Right, exactly. So that is the biggest war or history of war against the Void was what's happening down in Runeterra, and what's the place called that is Ikathia.
Ikathia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have to say that I think like the
Yeah.
Shuriman, Icathian, Darkin, that's probably like my favorite part of League lore. On a bit
Right.
of a side note here, because I could
Yeah,
also
yeah,
see
yeah.
a Shuriman expansion coming.
I was super mad when they remade the lore of the Darkin, but
Yeah.
then they enhanced it in a way that was really, really interesting, like how Darkin actually was ascended once
Yeah.
and just became tainted by the void in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it became the Darkin. So that's more
Mm.
worldly instead of having aliens coming to a planet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but back more to Legends of Runeterra, of course.
yeah.
So another thing that I would say like plays a bit differently from other card games is the addition of champions, which are like the iconic champions from League of Legends. Then,
Sure.
and also how like when each champion has its unique task, and if it completes the task, it will level up, which I thought was really cool because. I mean, you don't see it too often. I think there's like one other card game called Shadowverse, which has a level up mechanic as well, but
Yeah, Shadowverse is.
Right.
Yeah, you're a little bit more locked into your character because each character has a mechanic in that game, which is very overbearing. It's if you choose a champion, except for Fiora, it's not really that overbearing.
no, because
Like you have to use
yeah.
this, for example.
I mean,
Yeah.
some of them feel like they're kind of like, oh, I really need to do this one thing, but most of them it's more like, yeah, I can do this, but I can also not do it, so you're not too set on it, on any one thing. Which I think that's really fun. Having a lot of variety.
Is there going to be a rank system in Legend of Runeterra?
I mean, I assume they will have like a normal, just match up randomly, and then a ranked ladder.
Yeah, that's my prediction as well. Because what would the Riot game be without having leaderboards?
Yeah.
Also, how are they gonna make money of this?
Well, yeah. Speaking of that,
I'm just curious. Do you know how they're gonna make money?
so they will be selling like card packs, like the typical like boxes kind of thing. But it seems like you also get cards, like just by leveling up whatever faction it is you're playing. So you will like have a natural progression system that is based on what decks you play. So if you play a lot of Shadow Isles deck, you will get Shadow Isles card.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So.
I think so you're gonna get a lot of stuff for free, and I think they were like, it seemed like when they were having interviews with the developers of Legends of Runeterra that they wanted to focus a lot less on having RNG based looting systems.
Yeah.
In just you should be able to buy the cards you want to have. Like if you need a certain card, you should be able to buy it straight off the store.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that they've said this, and I really hope they stick with this direction because the main turnoff for Hearthstone, for me at least, was that it took way too long to build an interesting deck, and it was just way too random what cards you get. So okay, I have bad RNG, I don't really get any deck at all, and then I need to like start actually paying money to get more random decks, and it's just not very fun. But it seems like they're hopefully not gonna go too far down that path. And another thing I want to say from like just from looking at this like the demo version of the game is that God, the animations are amazing. Like, or actually all of the visuals are amazing. Like the cards have really pretty artworks. And you can even in-game click on the cards to like get a larger version of it, of the artwork.
Yeah.
And
like that's also one thing I noticed because when I was playing, I was playing a Piltover deck with Jinx, and every time Jinx got excited, like every time you're playing your whole hand, you got a new rocket, and the rocket did the whole animation. and I could do that rocket like 4 times around. Like it just became tiring to see the animation over and
Yeah.
over again, because it was such a big animation and you could do it so many times.
Yeah, it is a lot of big animations, and I think that could potentially be a problem for them. Because I think like the animations are really pretty, but they also take a long time. Both the animations that play when you level up the champions and when you trigger special abilities for the champions or cast certain spells, you have really big long animations.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. They're probably gonna implement, a skip cutscene or.
Yeah, I feel like they'll have to do
Most card
that.
games have that for a special. Take Duel Links, for example. They have this special animation for boss monster, but you can just, fast click them over, remove them.
Okay.
Stuff. So
Yeah.
they probably will do something similar.
Yeah, but since this is PvP, like both players will have to agree to skipping the animations, I guess.
No, you can just have one play skipped and then you just wait a little for the other to catch up.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no.
Really, if they do it.
No. But I also have to say that the fact that both players are playing cards kind of at the same time means that like the game doesn't feel as slow as Hearthstone, for example, when you can be sitting and just waiting out the enemy doing his turn and you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Yeah, Martin, what were you gonna say before?
Yeah, there's I'm one thing about which I'm personally not fond of. This is a little bit with lore, but they actually revealed some characters in Legends of Runterra which hasn't been revealed before, like Yasuo's brother.
Oh, right.
And I feel that those kind of characters shouldn't be revealed in this kind of way.
Yeah, I mean,
in my own personal opinion.
Do you think they should be like revealed through the main game instead, or?
Yeah, main game, or when they update, the lore site. I think that it's better if they do it through that.
Yeah.
It's kind of feel like now here we have his brother, and now we can just leave him forever because you've seen him.
I mean, I feel like Legends of Runeterra might be a chance to actually like add in more characters from the lore, actually add them into the game as well, because I think that could be a pretty neat thing.
They have added a lot of characters, just as Martin said, to Legends of Runeterra, which personally I do think it's a good thing. But yeah, some of the characters might just be missed potential for League of Legends. But then again, like I think we can keep the two games separate. So even if they were to release Yasuo's brother, for example, for League of Legends as a potential champion, they would probably update or do a continuous storytelling on that character.
Maybe, and we have seen Riot doing these comics, like we have the animated shorts, like they're branching out into more multimedia, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that like it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them to reveal a character in one of the side projects and then put them into League of Legends as a main game at a later point. And I mean, who knows? It seems like we have
I mean,
go on.
I mean, sorry.
No, you
but
go
from
on.
a marketing standpoint, would you really do that if let's say you take a champion and then you're teasing it, one of the things is that you don't know how it looks or what he's like, but if you already have an established character like Yasuo's brother, and then you wanna make him a champion, it's not gonna be as exciting for the audience since they know how he looks.
Right. I can see that actually.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely know where you're coming from there.
But it could also be like if you put them as like a playable character in one of the side projects, and then like people might like start liking him, and then how would he play in the actual League of Legends game, and then like he already has like a fan base, so to speak, when they do put him over into the game as well.
Yeah, true. But I mean, he's just a side character in League of Runeterra. I mean, the main thing is the champions, Jinx, Fiora. Those are the ones taking the spotlight if you play the game. Not this little guy you can summon who happens to be the brother of another character.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like non-champion. I mean, because I feel like they could probably like put in some new characters as champion cards in Legends of Runeterra before they appear in League of Legends and stuff as well. But even as just like named characters, non-champions, like if they like feel like they're impactful and like strong and fun to play in the game, I think you can probably create a lot of hype around that.
Yeah.
Like you can never know how a fandom reacts to certain things.
No, of course. Yeah. And I guess for Legends of Runeterra, there will be like at least one more like demo time, so to speak, in during November, and then
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they ever said like a final release date for it, but it should be pretty early next year.
Yeah, they said spring, right?
Yeah, because I think they were talking both about like releasing it on releasing it for PC, but also like having a mobile port of it later as well.
Oh yes, they will.
So yeah, we'll see when it comes out, and
Yeah.
if they have nerfed Fiora until then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty exciting, I feel
Yeah.
like.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, speaking of mobile ports, they also announced not just a port, but a different version of League of Legends called League of Legends Wild Rift that will be coming to mobiles and consoles sometime next year, it sounded like.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah. By the end of 2020, he said in
Yeah.
the live stream. Yeah, I'm actually one of the people that are really, really excited about this. Wild Rift, like I've been playing around with a few MOBAs on mobile.
Okay.
And I've never found them to be really I've found them to be addicting, but I've never found them to be like something that I would invest something in.
Yeah, no, because a lot of them I feel kind of like cash grabs or rip-off when I've been looking at like a lot of the mobile stuff.
Exactly.
I feel that when I play, those mobiles game, I feel they're fun, but I'm just sitting that I could be playing League of Legends.
Yeah.
Instead of this.
I mean,
exactly.
I probably would be getting it, and just so I can play it like, I mean, on the go, which is something you can't do with the League right now.
Definitely. I see. I have so many situations where I'm like, I wish I could be playing League, kind of when I'm like somewhere where I'm just have to wait. Like for example, a really good place would be like at the airport. You have to be there for like 1 or 2 hours before, and it's like you have nothing to do when you're there. And playing League of Legends would be definitely a time killer. So
yeah, and to me, like the thing I'm most hyped about is what they said that they talked about having it be both for mobile and console. So I'm looking forward to playing this on my Switch on the go.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because they released Overwatch on Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely could see that happening actually.
Yeah, because we have and because they're not only like touch controls, but they said that they're like designing it for dual stick controls in mind. So actual like controller supported League of Legends.
Right.
And it's not just a port either. Like they're remaking the game in a lot of ways. Like they're remaking all of the art assets and stuff like that.
From a new game engine and from scratch. I've seen some of the champions and skins that they've released. They've not released everything. With like they even still have some champions to go, but there's far less skins. But the skins and the champions just look so gorgeous. All the animations is just flawless.
I mean, first of all, like because of making everything like side by side, I feel like it has a more like the characters have a more concise art style. Like it like fits together better. But all of it is just really freaking stylish.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna give Riot Games some credit, benefit of doubt now. That one of the things I feel mobile games has is that they don't have a real lot of creativity, but Riot Games have proven that they're really creative when it comes to new abilities and
Yeah.
gameplay. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited what they will actually bring to the mobile, MOBAs.
Yeah.
What kind of ideas will come?
Yeah. Hopefully they won't fuck up the
definitely.
jungle too much.
Yeah, I mean they had to like remake some champions, like make them more more mobile friendly.
Yeah.
I know one of the examples would be Zed. I saw the Zed
Oh.
in the mobile version
Oh,
is
right.
a lot more simpler and doesn't have his like shadow mechanic in the same way
No.
it works in League.
Yeah, because that's
So
pretty
that's pretty,
complicated.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the
I
same
mean,
thing with
also,
Assault, I think.
since it's the first, mobile game, they don't want to make it too complicated.
No.
Because what they are aiming for is actually, I think, is the Chinese market.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
So they
that's
don't
like
want to have this super complicated game.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
At
both the
least not at the start.
yeah, no, both like I would say both the Chinese and like other like Southeast Asian like countries there, like towards Oceania and stuff, because mobile games are pretty huge there.
Yeah, definitely.
So big.
Yeah, I mean,
It's actually from Taiwan, or yeah, I think it's a Taiwanese company that made Mobile Legends, which is was before a straight up copy from League of Legends.
oh yeah, right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're not forgetting that
So
one.
yeah, right. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has been, and it's really and established and like blomstering in Asia,
Yeah.
East Asia.
I mean, yeah, and I can see it like being more accessible because not everybody has like a like gaming grade PC or a gaming console, so
Yeah.
Also, we're supposed to get, unique skins for Mobile Legends as well.
Right.
oh.
So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Do you think
I
that we're
hope
gonna get unique champions for the mobile game?
I mean, maybe at one point, but I think they will probably start by like, cause they will launch it with 40 champions and like start building up the remaining 100,
yeah.
and probably like remake some of them along the way because I can think of a few champions that probably would not work very well like with mobile controls.
Yeah.
Like they wanted Zoe, but she was too hard to make at the mobile.
Yeah.
So they just said no, she won't be in it.
Yeah, I don't want Zoe, so I'm perfectly fine with that.
But I want her in the game.
Right.
Yeah, and while like since it's a different game, like the stuff you've unlocked won't carry over between them, but they did say that there will be like some bonus rewards for like long-time League players in Wild Rift as well. So that might be fun.
You're probably gonna
we'll
have it
see what
that,
they
if you have a Riot Game account, you can just
Yeah.
log in, on the mobile, but you don't have their stuff. The stuff is separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. Yeah.
Something that makes me excited also, comparing this with this mobile game with other mobile games, especially comparing to like Blizzard. Blizzard's Diablo Immortals is that Blizzard gave it all to a production company in China to make the game and make the game cheap.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Riot Games
They're
are
like
actually
putting an effort into it.
developing the game themselves, even though they are behind in, because the Asian market or the Asian companies that makes mobile games like frequently they know what they're doing.
Yeah, Riot doesn't work.
Riot Games doesn't have that experience, but they're trying to learn, and that is something I respect so much.
Yeah, because I
That they're
mean,
gonna make their own game, like with their own artists.
yeah, that's
And
like
the
that's really cool.
Riot Games artists is so amazing.
They are.
I look up to so many of them, so it's actually insane.
Yeah, and because that's also the thing that like Riot, they've only been focusing on League of Legends before that. Like when they did Teamfight Tactics, they also said like, oh yeah, we're gonna be putting this on mobile. But I mean,
Yeah.
they probably worked on that like besides Wild Rift, because it looks like Wild Rift had been in production for quite some time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like before they started working on these things, they had never done anything for mobile as a company. So
yeah, exactly.
and now they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna drop one of the biggest like gaming IPs on mobile. So
Yeah, which I think is like, I think they're very in good times with all of these like
yeah.
releases, announcements. I think that this is a good time to actually produce these types of games.
I think that
Yeah,
I think this is just speculation on my part, but I almost feel that it wasn't really meant to be released as early as it was. Because it was the whole Blizzard fiasco. I feel
Yeah.
that this was just they read that and we're gonna capitalize on this now.
I mean, it
right.
And
wasn't
then
like
they
it was the like 10th anniversary as well, so I think like they probably had most of this planned.
they had it planned,
Maybe
but
like showing off like, oh hey, we're just doing an Overwatch killer, which we're gonna be talking about soon.
yeah.
That might have been because Blizzard fucked up and they want to capitalize on it. But I mean, Wild Rift is clearly like it's clearly been in work for a long time, and it
It's
looks
yeah,
like they have gotten a lot of work down on it as well.
yeah,
Oh yes. I mean, you don't reveal stuff like this if you're not almost finished with the product most of
No.
the time.
exactly. That is something we go. That is something we learn in game design actually.
Yeah, and
that
just like
you don't the iteration you release to the public, even if it's like an alpha or beta version, it's like it should be almost finished. It's just
it
last
needs
tweaks,
to,
or if
yeah.
you find problems with it.
Just
So,
bring up a little bit of hype, like, oh look, we're releasing the beta. Isn't this cool, guys? You're part of this.
Yeah,
yeah,
and also because something that some game companies get a lot of backlash over is that like they show off a game way too early. Like one of the things that come up in my mind is Final Fantasy 15 because it's fairly recent.
yeah,
And then it goes like 2 years since they showed it and it's still not released, and everybody just gets mad because like, well, why haven't you released it by now? You teased it forever ago.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I had the same experience with Anthem. I was for the first 2 years, I was super excited for it, and then yes, like this year I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, this looks pretty cool still, but I know other games that is like as cool. And then when it actually released, I'm happy I didn't buy it because it
What
was
game?
a flop. Anthem by
Oh
EA.
right, Anthem. Yeah, because when I saw the first trailer, like E3,
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, hey, this is like,
Yeah.
this looks pretty cool. They got
If
robo suits, they got
they
jetpacks. Yeah, all right.
exactly, and full world exploration and everything.
Yeah.
So if they were to release that version of the game in 2016, I think they would have gotten a lot more from
Yeah,
it
I
than
probably
they
would have
did.
bought it then.
Yeah, because they released it this year, which is like you have already new titles like Cyberpunk 77 that is
Yeah.
more hyped up. So like yeah, no, I think it became a flop just because it took too long since the reveal, and then the hype died out basically with the game.
Yeah, and then it was also like kind of a buggy mess at the very start, and
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
like from what I've heard, it was just super grindy and just a worse version of Destiny, pretty much.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess shooter. So yeah, that segues perfectly into the next point. Riot also revealed a so-called tactical shooter called Project A, which
Yeah.
looks like it's still very early in development.
That is very early in development from because they don't have they couldn't say anything about the date when it releasing. But something
Did you
I was
watch that was surprising. Did you watch the trailer for it?
Yeah.
When they were playing it? And
Yeah.
the very characteristics of Riot Games that they actually show, oh look at this game, and then it's just polygons and squares. And
yeah, like just from the
Right.
art levels, it's like, okay, yeah, they don't have any shaders going on really, and it's like still very early drafts of both the environment and the characters and particle effects and everything. So like you could see visually that like, yeah, this is a really early build.
Riot Games are always like very, very careful with what they release. Like this must look good. Like almost pedantic about it. Like
Yeah.
And I think it did, in my opinion, even though it was a low poly and it probably is gonna go through a few layers more. I think the art style is gonna be so amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like the art style and the color palettes they're using look really good even in an unpolished state. And I'm also really intrigued by because it looks like it's gonna be like a class-based shooter. But from what I've heard and from like what little we've seen, I think it's gonna be fairly short. It seems like it's gonna be fairly short rounds, and it's not gonna be the typical just infinite respawn, run in, get killed as Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch are.
Right.
So I guess in that sense it might be like it might end up playing a bit more similar to like Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
You said that you wanted it to be character focused. So like when you play a character, that would be the focus of the game, not necessarily, you know.
Yeah, because both those games I just mentioned are very like objective focused. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how it turns out. But hopefully,
I think
like
they're focusing on. I think they were mentioning about networking. They were having a new strategic way of like handling ping lag and FPS lag.
Yeah, which I mean that's like I'm not huge on shooters, but like that's pretty important. So having strong netcode is definitely like a must-have for a solid competitive like shooter game.
Yeah.
And I mean, hopefully it will be not just fun to play, but really fun to watch as well. Because even if I'm not hugely into shooters, I find both Rainbow Six and Counter-Strike really fun to just watch professional games of.
Yeah. Me too.
At this point, I'm willing to, you know, give everything Riot Games make like a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that they're proven themselves to, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like
League of Legends. Enough.
Yeah, I mean, like they put out quality products. League of Legends has been really fun, and I think that while I mean you always like get mad of some of the balance changes they do, I feel like overall the meta has been heading in a pretty good direction for the past few years, like as a whole. And Teamfight Tactics was super fun. It still is super fun. And Legends of Runterra, what little I played of it was also really fun. So I'm willing to give them a chance on the shooter as well.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. But it's so I think it's still far off in the future. One thing that I was really, really stoked about as well for Project Day was that they're gonna go for an original. Instead of having it being in the League Runeterra universe, they're gonna have an original IP.
Yeah, I think that's huge because they've never done an original IP before.
Yeah. Yeah, except for League. So,
yeah, I mean, like it's League, and then they just been expanding more and more on League.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't watched that yet, it's gonna be an original IP set in a near future Earth. So yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. It sounds a lot like Overwatch, but you know.
I mean, so
we can let that slip, I think, for now.
I mean, they're already like on their way releasing a better card game. And if they release a better like team-based like cartoonish shooter, I think we can just call Riot Games the Blizzard killer at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, is there any doubt that's what they're trying to achieve?
No, I don't think there is much doubt, and I'm perfectly fine with it. Like, get Blizzard out of here. They've done their stuff.
Like, I believe in like best company get the best product, get the best money. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then as if like mobile version, card game, and a new shooter wasn't enough, they showed off 2 more games they were working on, and one of them, which is probably what I'm the most like interested in here, would be their fighting game.
Right.
Because I don't know, I think fighting games are really really cool, and I think like from what little we saw of that, I think it looked really cool as well.
Yeah. And I think that's also one of the things that they've been. That's one of the things that was like firstly leaked of the releases too.
Yeah, I read there was a
'Cause
leak about that a while back.
yeah, they leaked it quite far back actually. So does and no, I mean 50% of the ones that heard it didn't believe it. So
Yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, it has been in the works for a while, and it looks really, really, really good actually.
Yeah.
I'm actually hyped to try that out as well.
Yeah, can set up tournaments for that over here as well.
Yeah.
Incorporate into Gotland Guardians.
Right, exactly. We're gonna have a fighting game department as well. Like we already have for Smash, but you know.
Yeah, I mean Smash is like kind of the borderline of fighting games, so.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you're like just combining both of the communities into one later.
Yeah, but that's also like okay, so 2D fighting game. They haven't said anything about it, but like, will they put that on consoles as well? I assume they will, because by the time they release that, Wild Rift will already be out, which will be both on console and mobile. So I assume they will put the fighting game on consoles. But
it would be a shame if they didn't.
I mean, why wouldn't they at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I could see that they wouldn't do is if somehow they majorly fuck up with Wild Rift and they realize, like, we can't put stuff on console, it doesn't work, we're not skilled enough, we don't have the skills that required. Or if the engine they use for that just doesn't work, but...
I mean, it's definitely gonna be a challenge putting a MOBA into a console.
But I mean, Smite did it, so...
But a fighting game is, like, made for consoles.
Yeah, it is.
In the beginning, like, if I play fighting games on PC, I want a PC controller. That's what I'm going for. Like, in all fighting games I've been playing, like For Honor and stuff like that, it's like, I just need a controller.
To be fair, I like most games on PC I do play with my PlayStation controller, so...
Right, yeah.
I guess I'm just like a console player overall, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once you get used to PC, you kind of like go back to console in a way because of the performance. I mean, consoles is getting better, but PC performance is just over the top.
You see, I'm just gonna sit here in the corner playing on my old ass Nintendo DS Lite, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fighting game looks really hype. So, like, we've seen Darius, we've seen Katarina, we saw Jinx in it as well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Jinx, actually. Yeah.
Which it's a bit surprising, because she's, like, running guns in a fighting game, which is, like, kind of weird, but...
Yeah, we played, like,
she was still walking in...
No, I haven't played BlazBlue, or any
like
of
that,
those.
They have,
Yeah.
They have like characters, with weapons in that, so and it works. I mean, or like Skullgirls.
Oh yeah, because then you have the whole like more difference, like where like zoning characters, they really have like the entire screen to work with the different like projectiles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen games with ranged characters that is like or semi-ranged basically.
Yeah, because when I think like of like 2D fighting game, because it's gonna be a 2D fighting game, if I didn't like clarify that before, is like what comes to my mind first would be like Tekken and Street Fighter, but like there is a lot of other like great 2D fighting games as well, of course.
Yeah, I think the fighting game that I have most experience with or been playing a lot is Dead or Alive. I've been playing since the early versions. So it's gone pretty far now in terms of like aesthetics.
Yeah, see, the only thing I've really seen from Dead or Alive is the like the beach volleyball thing.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
that can be quite questionable, but it has a really good. It's really satisfying to play those games.
And it's just, I mean, besides the boob, it's a really solid game, to be honest.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. And then the final game project that they revealed was some sort of like a co-op adventure game.
Yes.
And
wow,
wow.
I'm super excited for that because that is the genre I'm absolutely most sold for.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
It gave me some vibes of like, I mean, first of all, it kind of reminded me of like Project Odyssey, which was the like the co-op PvE event in League, where you go through multiple different stages and eventually you fight a boss.
Yeah. That is, I think that's basically what it is. Because what I've heard, if it's gonna be an action RPG, which I hope it will be.
Yeah.
Where you have the locked screen over and you move with the mouse. That I think it's surprising, like how if they were to make it that way. But if they do it, I'm gonna be all for it. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna.
It looked like it was like point and click kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It gave me like some
is
vibe.
it going to? Are they trying? I mean, are Riot Games just been greedy? Are they like trying to make a Zelda killer now as well?
I feel like it kind of reminds me a bit of like Pillars of Eternity almost, with the like the camera angle and like top-down like adventure games thing.
Yeah.
Or like the Diablos and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's action RPG, it would be like a Diablo killer, like Diablo or Lost Ark or whatever.
But remind me, who does the Diablo IP belong to again?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Riot is actually out here trying to cut off Blizzard's head.
Yeah. You're like, your time is up, old man.
Yeah, the future is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that also looks really cool. And then also getting that, like, the cooperative, because with a 2D fighting game, with Legends of Runterra, the card game, you don't have that sort of, like, team play, in the sense. So having, like, just a co-op action-adventure game could be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I think that's in early development as well.
Yeah, it
we haven't seen much of it.
Yeah, I would say it looked like probably the one that's gonna take the longest to get out of all of the games we mentioned, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looked pretty cool. I got it. I think there was something more I wanted to say about it, but I just lost my train of thought completely.
That happens.
Yeah, because otherwise, if we're kind of like done gushing about their new games, I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit about teamfight tactics as well, because we haven't really done much of that.
Right.
I don't play teamfight tactics.
Oh, okay.
To be completely fair.
No, yeah. So teamfight tactic is the released earlier this year. Riot's take on the like auto chess type of games.
Yeah.
Dota
auto chess, basically.
Yeah, where you have champions, you get 5 random champions in the shop. You can buy stuff. You can, if you buy multiple copies, you upgrade them, and then you put them out on the board. And each champion has like one origin and one class. And these, if you have multiple of the same origin or multiple of the same class, you get various bonuses to your team.
So, and they fight automatically for you, or is it like since auto?
Yeah, that's the auto in auto chess. You put them on the board and then they will automatically like do their fighting.
Yeah.
Because with the whole 10th anniversary, they're also releasing the second season, I guess, of Teamfight
Yeah.
Tactics. And
second set.
yeah, and in doing so, they will remake, like they will just redo every unit in the game, like, and every trait bonus in the game and everything. So now there's a completely new set of origins and classes. And
Yeah.
there
I
are
see.
some units that return, like the returning units, but with different like classes, and some units are completely new as well. So
See.
yeah, so it's a pretty big upgrade to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels a little bit overwhelming with so much stuff, but it's gonna be interesting testing that out in, I guess, like it's gonna be live when they switch to pre-season, which should be in about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's preseason is gonna start the 19th of November.
Oh, that's earlier than I thought, so it's like half a month then.
Yeah.
Just remember to play Annie to rank up in League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently on my main account. If I don't play within this week, I'm gonna get demoted. So it's like I'm just inactive on that account right now in ranked. So I'm playing a lot on my Smurf because I'm trying to get that to Diamond ASAP. So, but yeah, it's it's happening soon. It's going. Time passes by so fast.
Yeah.
It felt like season 8 was just like a month ago or something.
Yeah, I thought
I'm a
I would
little
be able to grind up to gold before the end of the season, but then like Worlds happened and I haven't played ranked since Worlds
Yeah.
started at all. So yikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then also like Legends of Runterra and some other stuff. So like I just haven't been playing much League actually.
Yeah.
But you were an anime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about the anniversary skin? Did it make you happy?
Yeah. I actually like it. When I play it, it's like I can make my enemies super annoyed by it, and the big timber is just amazing. It's so obnoxious, it's just amazing.
I mean, first of all, I think the skin itself looks like kinda bad, but still, like, it looks like annoying to look at, kind of.
But I kind of like it. It has a charm to it. So
yeah,
like...
it does have a charm, but I also find it really annoying. And then it gets even worse when you summon a fucking giant Teemo on top of me.
yeah. And all
the
the
thing which
colors
could have
and
made
sound
the
effects.
Skin perfect was if she yelled Teemo when she summoned Tibers.
Oh my god.
Right.
That would have been so dope.
Ultimate tilt.
Yeah.
But I understand that they didn't want to do that.
No. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, but then, so after showing off all of these games, Riot finished the 10th anniversary presentation by hinting at that they're going to be releasing an anime, because sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, they released the first part, a teaser trailer for it as well. It's like coming this, I think it's 2020.
Yeah, maybe.
Release on that one. So
I
don't know
on
which platform. I think they're gonna have their own platform for it. Not sure.
Maybe.
Probably their website, you know.
I mean, I could see them putting it maybe like on one of the anime streaming sites as well, as like a way to try to drag more people in.
But I would respect them not putting it, like if they were to do their own site and put it there and have like weekly releases of the episodes on their own like website, I would respect that to the max, because if they were to put contract with like Netflix or any other streaming company out there, it would be...
I don't think it would be putting it like on a paid service, because there are some stuff that like have free streaming and then you like pay to like get rid of ads and stuff. I think it would probably go like, I don't think they would get it behind like HBO or Netflix, for example.
Yeah. So
if they, I don't think they're gonna work with any, anime streaming websites because let's face it, Crunchyroll hasn't said anything, and Crunchyroll cannot keep quiet
Oh
for
yeah,
5
that's
minutes.
true.
Right.
Yeah, because
And
they.
to be fair, Crunchyroll is the biggest anime streaming site
Yeah.
currently.
They won't be releasing it as an actual anime in that sense, because it's
No,
not.
I guess not.
The definition of an anime would be like made a 2D thing made in Japan, which is not.
Yeah, I mean this is.
It's an American show, so but it's gonna be pretty exciting.
I mean,
And
it had some pretty anime-ass visuals, like.
yeah. So the one
It's-
other platform I would say that it could potentially be on would be as a YouTube on YouTube.
Oh.
YouTube streaming service.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, if it was like the YouTube Plus Premium or whatever, that would really suck.
yeah, right.
Yeah, YouTube
But
gonna get a lot of money if they do that.
YouTube
Probably.
has their own like YouTube original thing.
Yeah,
going on
right.
as well. So we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see what they go on about it, because I think they would benefit mostly from trying to reach other audiences as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with the anime, that they would put it on some sort of some streaming platform just to get a different audience, try to grab them in, because the anime will be set in the League universe. Just like I think the adventure game I mentioned earlier also was gonna be set in the League universe.
Yeah.
So just getting people invested in the universe, and then hey, you can play these games to see more of the universe.
Yeah.
What makes me really happy
basically
actually about the anime, and this is something which I think is so intelligent done by Riot, and that is it. From the looks of it, it's gonna be like short stories. Like, do you know Pokemon Origins?
No, I don't.
No.
Basically, it's Pokemon animation which takes the game storyline and puts them in short episodes.
Oh, okay.
As you know, but the problem which I always said about Riot Games making anime, that is that the audience always gonna have their own favorite character, and people get an attitude if their favorite character is not in an animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
For example. And that it's gonna be, but why is not my Yasuo in this anime? This sucks. Or
yeah.
And that's just how people react. But if the fact that they're making this seems like they're making these like small backstories for character to expand the universe is really intelligent. But then you don't have to have like a million character making, cameos in another story.
No.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna be depending on how they do it, of course. Yeah, but from what they've shown, it's gonna be a short story about a girl from Piltover, basically.
Yeah, because
Jinx.
Yeah, because what we've seen so far is that it's called Arcane, and we've seen a bunch of stuff that looks really much like Piltover. So it's probably gonna be set in Piltover.
Yeah. It's gonna feature at least 2 characters, which was involved with the trailer as well, and that's Echo and Jinx.
Yeah, and if they have like a bunch of new characters as well, that's probably interesting too, to see like a different side of Piltover.
Yeah, definitely.
For people who wants to watch this episode unspoiled, I'm gonna spoil a little bit about what's gonna happen in the story right now.
Okay,
so you can just turn away for like 2
everyone
minutes.
Just like mute the stream for like 2 minutes or so.
So it's a very smart move to actually have Jinx in this, because Jinx as a character, she was thrown into some sort of vat, or and had an accident which made her insane.
Oh right.
So the fact that they have this is going to be a very, if you watch this for the first time, the impact, the sad moment is going to be so strong if they make this right.
Oh yeah, with the Jinx's backstory
her
and all.
just falling down and becoming this demented person that she becomes later.
Yeah.
And it's gonna if you watch that, it's you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna want to watch more, because now you're emotionally invested into this series.
Yeah.
Yes, Riot Games are so intelligent
And
with what
if
creation
you're
of frontals.
emotionally invested, you'll also play the game.
Yes.
And you might
So
really
it's
see the
just going
website that
on.
it can't end like this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's something Riot has been really good at, like so far. Actually, like the comics, the other like lore they've been releasing. Because sure, most of the lore is buried like deep in the Riot Nexus lore sub website, and it's really hard to dig up. But the comics are actually really accessible, and they've been pretty good at like. I think they were really good at like fleshing out the characters and making me interested in them more.
They are. I mean, since they reworked the lore, I mean, they have some actual professional writers right now.
Yeah.
Which are? Do you know the story about it?
No. I mean, I've heard like snippets of it, but
It's actually interesting. So there's this company called Games Workshop, and they have this board game. But this board game popularity came from that their novels, which had, and they had a whole book series which called Horror Heresy, which are like 13 volumes.
Yikes.
Really good stories. And a few years ago, Games Workshop started censoring their authors. And the authors got very pissed off and angry that you're censoring us, we can't write what we want anymore, so we're gonna leave you. And Riot Games said, hey, why don't you write our lore now? And the author said, well, yes, of course, we can write for you, Riot Games. And so they did. So you can see the similarities between Warhammer lore and League of Legends lore right now.
Right.
And these are not small authors, these are professional writers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think like the new lore has been really good overall. So I'm.
Oh, it's been excellent.
Yeah, so I'm really hyped for getting to see like the anime take on it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like 2020 might be a really exciting really exciting year for all the Riot Games stuff coming out. Yeah, definitely gonna be looking forward to a lot of this, even if like some of these games probably won't be coming out next year, but.
Yeah, I mean, there's all the mobile releases, like TFT is gonna come to mobile.
Yeah.
League of Legends Wild Rift is also gonna come by the end of 2020. And the fighting game might also see a debut in 2022.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So what character do you guys want to see in the animation?
In the anime, oh.
I mean, I would be super happy with seeing Echo, basically.
Yeah.
Because that is, yeah, I want to see that whole thing with him and his best friend again.
Yeah, I mean, since like Piltover and Zaun are so like closely connected, seeing some of the more like Zaunite champions show up could be really interesting.
Yeah, like Warwick maybe. He's
still
like roaming down there.
Like Warwick or Mundo or maybe Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also if we get to see, maybe even see like Echo in action, like, because his backstory is like what the whole thing like, where he even if he could rewind time, no matter how many times he rewinded, he could never save that one person. Like actually getting to see that in animation would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this.
Okay, I would really like to see something from, Bilgewater.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they like.
Yeah. Just the animation and the art from Bilgewater is so fantastic.
Yeah, it is like a really nice style to it.
Like and so.
Yeah, same goes. I mean, personally, I like Ionia so much.
Ionia is pretty cool.
And all the like Vastaya and especially like something I really from the past animations I've seen from Riot, like the Varus one was just so gorgeous. I love that music video they made from that.
Yeah.
I would like to see Irelia and her rise to power. Starting out as a little girl, and taking up, the mantle of this revolutionary leader. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's like they have a lot of really cool lore.
Yeah.
So like they definitely have a lot to work with.
But
yeah.
The one thing that I want to see, like this is just a personal, it's not gonna happen because it's like no, it's not popular. But I would like to see a Veigar short animation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he's just so funny.
He is, and he's also like not connected to any of the ongoing lore anywhere in the universe, really. Like he's just, I mean, he feels like he's just kind of like off there to the side almost.
I think he was connected to Lulu's lore a little bit.
They are friends.
Yeah.
Same with.
Kind of like in the lore.
Remember.
Right now, he's taking down all of these evil wizards and taking over their castles, and people are starting to hail him as a hero.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but he has no place right now in the current timeline.
No,
because he
not
just
really.
Is.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably like try to tie him in with Rise or something, because Rise wanders the land searching for magic or like Calamity or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rise has had almost as many.
I think it would be either if Veigar has a rune, or if he knows that the Shadow Isles has a rune, so Rise has to seek him out to get information about the Shadow Isles or something along those lines. Because Rise is not gonna meet with you if you don't have anything regarding the runes.
Yeah, no, he's just kinda like only focused on that.
Like he's a watcher.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, how many times has Rise's lore been rewritten now again?
Yeah.
I mean, Rise has been all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, he has been like receiving tons of game reworks, but he has received quite a few lore reworks as well, but not quite as many as the game rework.
He has had 4 major game reworks and 20 minor tweaks.
God damn it!
Yeah.
They just cannot balance the champion.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, even now at Worlds, it's just like, yeah, it looks just like Rise did at Lost Worlds. He's still like one of the strongest champions, like at a professional level, despite all of the stuffs. Yeah. Yeah, but I think we've said like most of the stuff we want to do. Maybe we can finish on. Before we end the stream, maybe we can just say like what of these new projects are like we're looking forward to the most.
Right.
So
I'm looking mostly forward to the. I mean, I'm really excited about the Wild Rift one. Not gonna lie, but my most like niche, my fetish when it comes to like game types is action RPGs. So I hope that will become reality.
Yeah, all right.
I love card games like so much, but the thing I'm most excited about must be the animation. Like I love Riot Games lore so much. It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And just getting more of that is just.
Yeah, it is. It's really that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's pretty much a toss-up between Legends of Runeterra and the fighting game, but I think like the fighting game looked really slick, so that's like what I'm holding out for here.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Yeah, with that, we've gone through everything, and we've been streaming here for like a bit over an hour. So yeah, thank you everyone who's been watching this, and if you're hearing this, then it might also be on YouTube by then. So yeah, thanks, and But hope you
thank
tune
you
in
for
for the next
watching.
episode of Podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Bye.